Are you going to do the disclaimer?
No. Yes. I need a voice.
No,
Warning!
you don't need a
This
voice.
episode of Fanatic Fiction contains massive spoilers for the story Love.Sick. If you have not read this story, please click the link provided in the description below. If you have read it, please listen and enjoy. You have been warned.
Hey, what's up, Internet? This is B Fallen Tragedy.
Wow, you sound so enthusiastic right now.
It's 3 a.m. on a Sunday and we're recording.
It's 1 a.m. for me, so ha.
Yeah, be
Anyway,
quiet. Anyways,
yes, I'm AR. Hello.
yeah, we're having another intimate affair, just me and AR.
Clearly. And we're all alone again. No one loves us.
And the story we are reviewing this week is called Love.Sick.
I have seen it.
I first heard about the story on FanFiction. They're doing like this reviews where like the mods and some high profile writers review stories. It's like review roundup or something. They do it in their blog.
Ah.
And I saw this story. I saw some of the reviews for it, and I'm like, this sounds interesting. I want to read this. And so I read it, and it's a very short story. Like what, 17,000 words?
Yeah, I read it in like 20, 30 minutes.
It's a very short story, but it's a very interesting story. It's intriguing, and I think if you just hang in there, you'll get through
Yeah,
it.
it starts off a bit like one of these kind of scenes. If you're not into the big romance kind of scenes, it starts off like that in Magic. But as the story continues, it gets very interesting. A complete turn that you would not expect in a story like this.
All right, so basically, the story starts out with Celestia and Twilight
On a hill, looking over
on a
Ponyville.
hill with a picnic, looking over Ponyville.
With a picnic. Hey,
Dude,
boo-boo buddy. Ha ha ha.
I'm pretty sure Celestia would smite those bears.
Hey, boo-boo, you gotta get out of here. Why, Yogi? Anyway, sorry.
Anyways, and it basically says okay, they're in a relationship. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah, it is. But Twilight gets a crazy idea. I want to spread our relationship to the world and let them know.
I want to scream it from the rooftops.
the hay rooftops. Why did she get stray? I was thinking straw and hay. Anyway, she does so, but she tells Celestia she wants to make their relationship known to the public. Celestia hints otherwise to do so. Some weird things go on.
Basically, Celestia says, no, that's a very, very bad idea. You don't want to do that.
Which it tends to be when you think about it. I mean, telling someone you're in the relationship with the ruler of your land, it's a bit awkward. But it's not just that also. They hint at jealousy in this as well from the other ponies, is what Celestia says, I believe.
Yeah, Celestia says, like, your friends will be jealous. And they're like, no. Twilight says, no, I'll talk to him. It's fine.
Yes.
And so Twilight gathers her friends up at the library the next day.
Gummy's amazing.
Shut up. And she tells them there are varying degrees of shock and awe.
Yep. So as you expected, the two, it would be 3 ponies more of, I'd say 2.5. But Pinkie Pie and Rarity shrug it off and they act like nothing is no big deal, really. But you can tell a bit with Rarity. Pinkie Pie, you don't really even know. Rainbow Dash, you can tell that something's up with her.
Yeah, she's fidgety and she's
fidgety. So she goes away. Fluttershy does Fluttershy's thing and then goes away. And Applejack wants to talk with Twilight afterwards in her barn.
This story made my heart hurt for Applejack, man.
I know, right? I'm like, that is cruel. This is taking the personalities to the extreme, really, like insane extreme, actually.
It hit me.
Well, except Pinkie Pie was pretty much normal, actually.
Oh man.
Anyway, which is why he finds it funny. But also, so going on, she made the second chapter of the story, which is called Honesty. I love the way they named the chapters in this story. Mm-hmm. You get of course, the elements of harmony. It's a very interesting and different way to name the chapters for this. But so we go on to chapter of honesty. She talks with Applejack. Applejack proclaims her love for her, but understands you're with Celestia. So she makes a dreadful decision the night after talking to Twilight when she's sleeping, and Twilight's sleeping.
No. Here's the thing.
Well, I missed a few things. Yeah.
Twilight promises to sleep with one night in Applejack. No funny business.
Exactly. So no jokes, no karaoke.
No blanket parties. Shut up. Anyway.
No no pillow fights, no reading transdimensional interchanges, or whatever you call that, Twilight
No,
would read.
no reading saucy fanfics. Anyways,
Twilight doesn't read fanfics.
basically they have a peaceful night sleeping together. Applejack gets up in the wrong night and says, "Oh, don't worry, Twilight, I won't bother you ever again."
And then so she takes her cards and some rope and disappears in the middle of the night. I believe it is a dark and cloudy night, correct?
It's raining. Yeah,
that too.
It's a dark and stormy night. Get it right. Get the cliche right.
It's a dark and cloudy night. It's a dark and stormy night. The difference?
Easy. One's cliche, one isn't.
Either way, it's cliche. Moving on. So after the whole incident, she wakes up. Applejack is gone. I believe it is. Is it morning now?
It's morning now.
It's morning now. Yeah. She leaves the barn. Applejack's missing. She's a bit concerned. Runs into Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash is like, "Hey, you buddy, I got some awesome place we can go to. You should like totally join me because you'll like think it's like totally awesome and like yeah, you should come." Okay, so Twilight joins Rainbow Dash on their epic journey to I believe the Everfree Forest, correct?
It is the Everfree Forest, yes.
And they go to what looks like some crummy treehouse made up by a 5-year-old.
It's a cave.
That is made by a 5-year-old. Anyways, inside it looks like it's made by a 5-year-old.
Yes, because you have to walk over the boards.
4 steps made, some hoof marks on the ground and some other things, which Twilight's a bit concerned with, but either way, the inside of the cave looks pretty, and she's all concerned with that. And there's a river. I mean, come on, you have a river in a cave. That's pretty cool. Although, I don't want to know what's
apparently that cave is huge, because Rainbow Dash says, "Oh, we haven't explored past the river. We don't know how far back it goes."
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a big old cave.
In the center is is it a fire or is it a pot?
I think it's a fire.
Okay, anyways.
Either way, there's something in the center. No, it's a fire because they're talking about the shadows dancing and stuff like that, so it's a fire.
Right.
Unless it's a pot on top of a fire.
Possibly.
Either way, there's a fire involved with this thing in the center of the room.
Mm-hmm. And then Rainbow Dash is like, "Oh yeah, we've been waiting for you a long time, Twilight. We want you to join our club for a really, really, really long time."
It reminds me of Charlie Unicorn already. "You should join our club, Charlie."
"Come on, Twilight, let's go to Candy Mountain." "Yeah! Candy Mountain, Twilight!"
Okay. So yeah, that happens, and there's this whole secret club thing of magical loveness, apparently.
Basically, the first one to come in is Scootaloo, and she brings alcohol.
I'm 25!
Yeah,
I will say the humor in this is very well done.
It is. It's that off-kilter, dark style of humor that
well, not all of it, because the humor, like Scootaloo, I'm 25. See, just like we practiced, kiddo. That was just regular humor. That's
off-kilter humor, right?
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, it's not like the dark humor you run into afterwards, which I did laugh at Rarity for some reason. It's pretty morbid, actually, but moving on. By the way, we're in the chapter Loyalty, if you haven't figured it out yet.
Loyalty, yes.
Well, I mean, you read the story, so why are we going over this again?
Because we can.
It's true.
Anyways, and then, who comes in next? Is it Derpy?
Yeah, Derpy, or Ditzy. I think they called her Ditzy. She comes in, she's like the best one in the club at the lovey-dovey stuff we do. Twilight's like, no. I loved her thought process. Just no. So she essentially runs away.
Yeah, Twilight runs away when she sees even more ponies coming in, and they're like, basically what they had going was like a sex club.
And essentially, yes.
No, it was an orgy club, and we all know it.
Essentially, yes. I'm just gonna stick with that as my answer.
No, there's no essentially.
You're essentially. Moving on. So she's running for her life through the Everfree Forest, and so because she doesn't like the other ponies chasing her like that, because it's kind of awkward.
Can I try to say Everfree Forest again?
Everfree Forest.
There we go.
What did I say?
You said Everfree Forest.
Well, I do have a slight speech impediment where I do mix up letters for certain words and like flip them.
You're word dyslexic.
Slightly, but it's only when I'm talking, not when I'm reading. It's like I'll say like first time instead of that. I'll say like terse fime. I mix up like the first letters of words and just flip them for some reason.
Well, that's because your mouth moves faster than your brain. They are.
I blame Pinkie Pie.
I blame you. Okay. Anyway, she's running through the forest, and But then all of a sudden she feels something chasing her that's not the creepy sex orgy ponies.
So it's an even creepier, not orgy ponies, which makes her a bit creeped out. So she runs faster.
It's on this long limb pony that's like moving mechanically towards her and like making these terrible screeching sounds and calling her name. And at first, I'll admit it, I thought it was Slender Man.
It was pretty creepy either way, but so she keeps running and ends up in some poison joke, loses her magic. She ends up at Sweet Apple Acres.
Now here's the thing. She runs into something hanging from a tree and she looks
And
up.
it was sad. I'm like, oh.
And Applejack hanged herself from a tree.
I know. It's just like, oh.
She used the cart to raise herself up, hung herself from the tree, then kicked it out from under herself, snap, dead.
I know. It's just like, oh.
And that hurt me. That hurt me real bad. Right in the
I know.
heart.
Applejack is my favorite, but I still like her. I mean, still, it's just like, ah. Don't you just love my, like, constant, ah? Anyways.
And then Twilight goes, "Oh man, Applejack," and she like breaks down. Bless you.
I'm so glad I removed my headset. You would have been deaf.
Anyways, she
That's
starts breaking
funny.
down. She cries, but something comes closer and she runs away again.
Yeah, I know, right? That one thing that's creeping her out, which was creeping me out for a bit. So I'm wondering what is the thing.
All right. And she eventually like collapses near a tree.
Yeah, faints, wakes up in the middle of.
Is it the boutique?
Yes.
Is it the Carousel Boutique? Yeah.
I thought you would have forgotten. It's a Carousel Boutique. This is Mount Generosity, people, if you didn't know.
Generosity.
Generosity. Just whisper the chapter title every other time. So, anyways, in Generosity, we get the Carousel Boutique, and a very, well, a blurb of rarity at first, but as Twilight begins to take in a few more details, something's off.
About Rarity.
Yeah.
One, her hooves are messed up.
A little, yeah.
Badly.
Very
Her
badly.
legs bleeding and covered in bandages. And whenever Twilight asks, "Well, are you okay, Rarity?" And she goes, "Oh yes, I wanted to give you something, so I built a companion, so when I'm not around, something else can be." And it cuts to a mannequin that she basically stuffed full of machine parts and made walk.
I know, it was like, first off, how did Rarity get this smart? Second off, well, actually, no, she's pretty smart overall. I think she just probably used some simple sewing machine.
So Rarity doesn't.
But what is the power source?
Rarity doesn't get the fact that being naked isn't taboo in pony society, but she does understand the finer points of mechanical engineering.
You got that from the picture I sent you earlier.
I took one part from it. Anyways.
I'm trying to find, there's a certain part in here. Oh, by the way, going back to Applejack real quick, I love the subtle thing that was Applejack Heart Twilight Sparkle. I'm like, that's just terrible. Anyways, moving on.
Like many a teen suicide.
I know, it's just horrible. Quick, ready to go, you poor darling. You've been looking for you forever. Get you to do
Anyways,
right.
Yeah, she created the mannequin to stay with Twilight always. Always.
Yeah.
But then she figures out she's went, I even got it to speak. And basically what Rarity did was she killed her cat and removed its voice box and put it in the
just
machine.
Just her diaphragm. Well, she said diaphragm, but I assume there's more to it than just the diaphragm she'd used.
Hopefully. Basically, it makes it squeak out air.
That says Twilight Sparkle. And
I
like you, Sparkle! Probably like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Either way, it's creepy. And you would crap yourself if you saw this thing.
In Twilight, she uses a bloody cover over a cat-shaped form in the corner. Mm.
Yeah, which also I noticed here, because let's see, was this? Let's see, hold on. Parator, there are huge tears in its side, sewn up cuts with various widths and thicknesses, and altogether it looked like a patchwork of cloth and stuffing. The worst part about it was that it had the same pale white flesh coloring of Rarity, and 3 diamonds stitched to either side of its flanks. A faux, right?
Faux.
A faux mane and tail, purple in color, hung off its back and rear, but entirely drenched now and falling down to the sides. But anyways, it didn't have any eyes with the thing, and I'm wondering, why didn't she use Opal's eyes?
Because...
Wow. I wish I could have come up with an excuse like that.
I know. Anyways, onwards. Twilight escapes from that place. Like there is
Yeah,
no.
there is. She essentially just takes the dress that was there, smears it in stuff on her face, and says, "Oh my gosh, your dress!" and runs away, which is something I do. Bye, guys. Essentially that.
Anyways, and then Twilight goes, "Oh, I know. There's gonna be one. There's gonna be at least one sane friend of mine. Let's go see
Which
Fluttershy."
you would
And
think, which I was thinking when I was reading it, I'm like, of course, it's Fluttershy. I mean, how can this go
okay,
wrong?
okay, I will say this right now. This was my favorite chapter. It's kindness, by the way. Kindness. And
Why is this your favorite chapter, might I ask?
I just maybe it's because I always envisioned Fluttershy as a masochist. I don't know.
Wow, you're kind.
I know, right? Well, I
Anyway,
mean,
yeah, but when I did read this chapter, I really didn't expect much from Fluttershy being,
oh,
insane.
oh, yeah.
But I'm sure you did.
Oh, yeah, because I've read a story or two, trust me.
Well, no, when you first read it.
Oh, no, I still expected it.
Okay, I didn't really expect it because I don't read a lot of these kind of stories, although I do love dark, tragic stories. I'm weird. Anyway,
Anyways, she gets to Fluttershy first, like, oh, yeah, sure, come in. And she's like, oh, don't worry, Twilight, I won't do anything, I won't trap you here.
and then she promptly states that the doors are have bolts on them, the windows are thick and sealed. So.
Oh, yeah, but they're not to trap her, they're for her protection because she lives in the middle, or near the Evergreen Forest.
Yep.
And then Twilight starts putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
Lives near the Evergreen Forest, constantly in danger, works with dangerous animals. Oh my god. Fluttershy is a masochist. And basically Fluttershy goes, oh, come on, Twilight, just hit me. Just once. Come on.
Yes,
and Twilight's like, no, I rather
yeah, and
not.
she's
No.
fighting it pretty well at first, but then eventually she just blacks out in a sense and loses herself. She doesn't.
And here's this is brilliant what happened. Fluttershy used the stare on her.
Oh yeah, that's right.
To make Twilight beat the shit out of her. Literally, like, kick her, like, give her, bloody nose, break a few teeth, leave bruises and cuts all over.
Yes, so
And
all of that stuff happens, and
eventually Twilight finds her way out of it and leaves, which
yes,
I think Fluttershy says something while Twilight's leaving.
yeah.
Like, oh, that's all I ever want. No. She said, like, that's all I ever wanted or something like that. Like, thank you very much.
All I ever wanted.
I'm not sure. Anyway, she said something really creepy. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, well, right now, right here it says, was the one reply, but later on she does have some other lines. Where'd it go? Where are you going? I'm still here. That was creepy. A voice gurgled. Which, yeah, that was a bit creepy.
Oh, and then Twilight runs away from there. She's doing an awful lot of running. The doctor would be proud.
I know. So she ends up at her home, the library inside of a tree, which only a bookworm would live in. So we end up at the last chapter before the epilogue, Laughter, if you have not guessed and can't do math. BT found it hilarious. I found it funny. Good chapter.
Oh, come on, this chapter.
It was funny, okay? But I didn't find it, like, amazingly humorous, like when Rainbow Dash hit her head on the glass and started sliding down.
No. This chapter was just, it wasn't just funny, it was brilliant. Because, I forget, the whole chapter doesn't take place in, the library.
No, it doesn't, because it's Pinkie Pie trying to get Twilight. She gets her out of the library because Twilight faints, because, personally, if you go through that stuff, you're bound to faint.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of...
So, Pinkie takes her to safety in her own home. Well,
and basically, Pinkie's sitting there, and she's not being herself.
Yeah, exactly. And you think, of all the ponies, you think Pinkie Pie's going to go the craziest.
Oh, yeah, because, well, we've been so conditioned by cupcakes and stuff.
Which I have read. I didn't really care for it too much.
Well, anyways, Pinkie's like acting all normal and normal for not normal for Pinkie Pie, strange for Pinkie Pie, normal for everybody else.
Yes, Pinkie agrees.
And the Twilight's like, okay, what the hell? He's like, don't you love me, Pinkie? And Pinkie just laughs.
He just laughs and laughs.
And she's like, why would I love you, Twilight? And she goes, what do you mean? She's like, well, whenever I was a little filly, all the other little fillies in Cold Circle and Hello, I realized something. And Twilight goes, oh my god. And she goes, yeah, and so I just couldn't love anybody, so I just had to be happy all the time to cover that up. And Twilight goes, are you saying that you're... And Pinkie goes, yes, I'm straight.
So it's
And
an opposite universe in a sense.
that was so brilliant. I laughed for like 5 minutes.
I have seen
That coming out of the
yeah,
closet music,
it's
your
stories like
straight
this.
come.
Yeah, I've seen these before, but
That is brilliant. And and Twilight's like, oh man, that must be hard for you to come out to me. It's okay. And so they start eating and they're having a normal
yep.
conversation. And Twilight goes, oh, so you really don't love me? She goes, no, I don't.
No,
But
I
Gummy
don't.
does.
Just the answer. I'm like, oh no, but Gummy does.
Yeah, but Gummy
Wait,
does
but
because
so wait, is Gummy male or female?
Gummy's a male, dude.
All right then. Just was curious
And
about that.
and so Gummy, like, she pulls out Gummy, who has like these sharp teeth going in every
I
direction.
know, right?
And Twilight's like, why does he have teeth? And she's like, oh, because I haven't filed them down yet. I haven't pulled them out.
Lovely.
Which is kind of fucked up to think about.
Yeah, poor Gator. I mean, that's just gotta be like painful.
Mm-hmm. And basically, and then Twilight can't move because she's so tired from all the running she's done and just fighting all the time. She's like, fine, I just give in.
Yeah, essentially.
And
So Gummy gives her a kiss of death.
Which involves enveloping her whole head in his mouth.
Yes.
And essentially, Twilight dies.
You'd think Pinky would have, like, not done something like that.
No, Pinky's still insane. We learned that.
Oh, yeah, but still, I mean... Anyway, so yeah, Twilight essentially dies.
No, not essentially. She does die.
Twilight essentially dies. I just like bugging you with that word. So after Twilight essentially dies, we move on to the epilogue, which is named Love. L is for the way you look at me. O
Okay, anyways, it's called Love.
is
It opens
for
with
the
Celestia.
only one I see. Anyways, yes.
It opens with Celestia in her room, and she like senses like a disturbance in the force or something. A million souls cried out in anger and despair. Anyways, she's like, oh man, another one's gone. She pulls out a long list that has a bunch of names in like silver, and they're all crossed out. And she goes down to Twilight Sparkle, and she goes, they always have to talk, and then just crosses her out.
Yep. Also, Spike was there. If you did not, you didn't mention
Spike was there.
Yes.
I haven't seen Twilight in a long time. Yeah.
Well, she's busy. I sent her over to the Griffin Kingdoms. Hooray!
Once again, this was just a really rough. This is a really rough synopsis. We missed a lot of stuff, but it's okay.
Yes. Anyways, we just like to go over basic synopsis to remind you, because I'm sure it's been months since you have read this story, and you need refreshing. Anyway, very interesting story, and overall, the storyline for this and the plot, it's very interesting. It's something, I mean, the idea for the story itself with the ending that it kind of had and the story that portrayed over it, I haven't really read too many stories like this. I think I've read another one that was similar, actually, but it's always something different. I enjoyed it. I do enjoy reading dark kind of stories. I don't know why. I really enjoy writing them more than reading them, but still.
I enjoy reading them because people can do it better than I can.
But so, very interesting story. It is very well done, also. Something different, something you would not completely expect, because it starts off like a normal shipping fic in the with the whole story, but it is labeled as a tragedy and dark story as well.
Tragedy, hey.
Don't even reference your name.
You would say a tragedy has befallen Twilight.
I just said, do you not listen to me? I said don't reference your name.
Self-promotion.
I'm gonna keep singing that song.
Okay. Anyway, I mean, this story was just like good. I give it the BT seal of approval. I don't know what score to give it, so I'm just going to give it a seal of approval.
Personally, for me, I'd probably give it a 9.
I'm just giving it a seal of approval.
I don't like giving things like 10 out of 10 because I don't want to have some sort of.
Well, here's the thing. I'm tired of every week we always give every story. Well, most people give every story a fucking 8 or 9 or 10.
Well, yes, but I'm also being honest because I'm rating it by
No.
Yeah.
Every once in a while we'll get a 7, but I usually have to play the bad guy and give the story a bad score. I usually have to be the devil's advocate and play for the bad side.
Well, yeah, but it depends on the story because lately you've been doing like 10 out of 10
stories I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
But recently the stories I've been like saying, hey, go read this. Surefire, Lightning, whoever the hell else we usually have, they didn't read it.
Oh yeah.
They didn't read it because they didn't want to read the stories because they didn't like them, and they don't want to be the bad guys, and they don't want to be the bad guys on the podcast, so they didn't come on.
Well, I read it. I mean, but the thing is, I like the stories. I'm a very
I'm not singling out you. I'm
yeah, I
singling
know.
out Lightning and Surefire. Anyways, and so instead, from now on, I'm not going to give things number scores. Just BT seal of approval,
Whether
right
you
there.
like it or not, I'm still going to do the number scores for me because I like giving my personal opinion to let you know what I truly think of the story, and I give it a 9 because it's not the perfect story for me. For 10, I'm going to look for a story that I will read over and over every time I want to. Milo Dash didn't even receive a 10 for me. I love that story, but I'm not going to read it over and over again.
I mean, Milo Dash received a 6 from me.
Yeah, because you're cruel. Um,
'Cause it
but
makes you feel.
but it was a good story overall, very well written, creative, and I want to almost say original in some ways.
The idea was very
It was
original.
quite the storyline itself is very original. Well, I mean, there are, like I said, I have read a couple stories like this, but not to this extent. It's very different, and I enjoyed the dark aspect it felt, and the creepiness was creepy. It did a good job of portraying what it is in the story, and also another thing, it's a story where there's the possibility of a follow up. Or perhaps a prequel to it because of Celestia's list.
There is a prequel to
There
it.
is a prequel. That's what I thought.
It's called Six Ponies Go In or Six Ponies In or something like that.
Interesting.
Oh, it's a spiritual prequel, I think, is what she says, what the author says.
Oh, okay then.
So,
But so yeah.
so anyways, happy Valentine's Day, you guys.
Oh yeah, Happy Valentine's Day. We read a love tragic dark story where Applejack kills herself, Rarity goes insane, Pinkie Pie is actually straight, Rainbow Dash is weird again, and Fluttershy likes being beaten.
And stay tuned for a Deltar ship fic.
Wait, what?
What? I'm kidding.
But let's see. I believe that'll about do. Anything you want to note from the story? Anything that you like? Because there were some scenes actually where like there were some of the dark parts, like with Rarity. Where was it? One of the lines I was laughing at. What was it? Hold on.
It was. It was a good story all around. I can't really pick out anything. Just all of it together was good.
Well, yeah, but I still want to find out. There was something in here where I just laughed at it. I don't know why. It was Rarity, and she was I don't know where was that. You look absolutely terrible. Is where we begin. Okay, skipping all that because it wasn't there. Okay, yeah, that was it. Opal, you no doubt heard, but poor dear, really. But I'll get a better one soon, I promise. I laughed at that.
You're a little messed up. I didn't even laugh at
Yeah,
that.
I know, but I just found it.
Anyways, next week we are reviewing Elements of Discord, and we might just get the mod from the Ask Weepy Cry Tumblr on with us
Yes, indeed.
because he has added so much to that mythos.
Yeah.
No, not mythos. Mythos.
Mythos.
Multiple mythos. Yes.
All of the mythos. Right. Now then, I believe that about does it.
Yeah, that does it. See you next week, guys.
Yes.
I have been B Fallen
I have been AR, and Delta has been in